door. Put the leather on the denim. I ain't the cure, I'm the venom. If you wanna find me, find the taillight. Something's coming in, you're gonna wanna take a red eye. It's time to go. It's time to go. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Don't blink, don't blink. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready.
Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat, mga taga-subaybay dito sa ating programang Ang Maestro. At ngayon, Oktubre 21, 2023, ay bumabalik tayo para dalhan na naman kayo ng ating panglabinsyam na episode na pinamagatang Inday's First Revolution, na nagbabadya ng systemic educational overhaul. Pero bago ang lahat, mga kabansa, ay nire-remind ko lang kayo na 3 na po ang libro na na-publish natin, at kung gusto ninyong mag-subscribe dito, ay mag-text lamang kayo sa Maestro 0917-336-4366. Ang unang libro, A Problem for Every Solution, ang pinag-uugatan ng basically ng Philippine-China understanding at kung bakit toxic ang mga polisiya ni Noynoy Aquino nung kanyang administrasyon. Pangalawa, ang mga origins ng COVID-19 dito sa libro namang No Vaccine for a Virus Called Racism. At pangatlo, The Poverty of Power, kung saan sa pamamagitan ng enerhiya at ng tubig ay pinakita natin kung paano nilulustay ng mga politiko sa ating bansa ang kapangyarihan na iginawad natin sa kanila. Kung gusto niyo pong bumili ng any of these books or these 3 books which I can bundle for you for 2 or 3, text lamang kayo sa 0917-336-4366. Simulan na natin ang mainit na usapin. Alam niyo po, lumampas na 1 buwan, ang mga komunista sa Kongreso ay nagsimulang mag-build ng case to impeach Vice President Sara Duterte for alleged misuse of confidential funds. Ito po ay pinamunuan ni Franz Castro ng Alliance of Concerned Teachers Party List. Ito po ay parehong lusti ng Francisca Castro na charged by the Talaingon Police in Davao del Norte noong Nobyembre 28, 2018 for kidnapping a lumad na minor de edad. Kasama po niya sa demanda sina Saturo Campo ng Bayan Muna at 16 pang iba. Ang mga akusasyon po ay nagpatunay na politically motivated at isang false flag. In fact, the accusers turned out to be a bunch of ignoramuses who did not understand fiscal finance but were just drawing political blood. When President Rodrigo Duterte came to her daughter's defense, he turned the tables on Congress as he exposed that the legislature itself does not only have confidential funds in the form of extraordinary funds, but maintenance and other operating expenses budget of its members that are not also subject to audit. The former president is now asking the people to demand the Commission on Audit to hold Congress accountable. Ano ba ang mga proseso diyan? What are the implications of the budget process? Ano itong mangyayari kung ang gobyerno ay hindi ginastos ang allocated budget niya at the end of the fiscal year? Humiram po tayo ng karunungan mula kay Malu Tiquia, isang tanyag na kolumnista at propesora at naging presidente pa ng University of Manila to put things in proper perspective. Let us play number 1.
Alam mo, ang isa pang nakakatuwa doon, sana naintindihan ng taong bayan, ang budget process, 4 na phases yan eh. Hindi porke nag-request ka, ibigay yun. At hindi porke ibinigay sa'yo, mai-implement mo. Alam mo, ang problema natin na malaki is the underutilization of the budget. Nagpadala pa nga si DBM Secretary na notice to all agencies na bilisan nyo kasi third quarter na. At pag hindi inaibaba ang pondo ng bayan, hindi nararamdaman ang gobyerno. Kaya kailangan mong ibaba lahat yan. At natutuwa ako dahil napaka-open nung discussion kanina at napaka-klaro na walang pagnanakaw, walang ibinulsa, at walang korupsyon na nangyari. Bakit na-implement ng 19 days? Kasi may PAPC ang Office of the Vice President, plinano. Di ba nakita natin ng pag-release, hindi ko nga masabing kung legal o illegal yung pag-release nung request niya kay DBM Secretary. Pero hindi niya yung kinonfront. Sinabi niya, oo, yan ang request ko. Oo, ito lang ang binigay sa akin. Oo, meron kaming plano. Oo, August ako sumulat, November ang saro. So technically, kayong reporters na naintindihan nyo ang budget process, alam nyo na pagdating ng Disyembre, pag hindi mo nagamit ang pondo, nagre-revert sa National Treasury. Humingi ka ng pondo sa presidente, patutulog mo yon sa pansitan? Hindi ba dapat natutuwa tayo na na-implement, nakita mo, may isa tayong leader na kayang mag-implement kaagad ng programa dahil pinag-aralan, sinabit at napondohan.
Ayan. Suma total, hindi dahil humingi ka, binigyan ka, ay magagastos mo. Kung wala kang absorption capacity, handa ka ba? Meron ka bang feasibility study? Meron ka bang time frame? Meron ka bang budget plan? Lahat yan, hindi sa iyo ibibigay kung hindi kumpleto ang iyong mga papeles at kung wala sa lugar ang iyong hinihingi. Kaya dito tayo ngayon sa budget reform. Ang tanong, why is VP Sara being faulted for doing what is right and with dispatch? Let us play number 2.
Yung meron silang tinatawag na budget utilization ranking. Rinarank yan ng DBM, nagagamit nyo ba? Kung hindi nyo nagagamit, ay sa susunod na budget. Kaya di ba kuminsan dun sa NEP, may request sila, hindi pinondohan sa NEP. Kasi tinitingnan historically, nagamit mo ba yung hiningi mo? Kung hindi mo pala nagamit, di hindi mo kailangan. At to a certain degree, yung reform na zero budgeting, line item, reform yun na hindi lang ngayon pinag-uusapan, noon pa. So marami kang pwedeng gawing reform sa budget process, pero kailangan intindihin ng taong bayan, saan ba nagkamali si Vice President? Mali ba yung mabilis nang natugunan? Mali ba yung humingi siya sa Pangulo at ang Pangulo nagbigay? Hindi lahat, ha? Nagbigay ang Pangulo. So saan ka lalagay kung gusto mong pondohan yung mga proyekto na sa tingin mo may mandato siya eh. Yun ang hindi ko maintindihan na hindi naiintindihan ng Makabayan Bloc. She's the second highest ranking official after the president. At ang sinasabi, spare tire lang yon. Di kung spare tire, wag yung siyang bigyan ng pondo. Pero ang daming ilinagay sa kanya ng ating Pangulo. Dapat ba nating sisihin yon? Hindi ba dapat tayong matuwa? Yung isang spare na tao na may mandatong mas mataas pa sa Pangulo, ginagawa niya yung trabaho? May mali ba doon?
Ayan. Diretsahan na ang tanungan kay Miss Tequia. Ang sabi niya, let's not mince and dice. Ang lumalabas pong bottom line kasi dito ay naked politics at cannibalistic propaganda. Pakinggan natin ang ating resource person ngayong araw na ito. Let's play number 3.
Yun ang ipinapakalat nila sa social media at ipinamumukha na may korupsyon na nagawa si VP Sara.
Yeah. Admar, medyo foul nga kasi makikita mo yung pag-frame ng mensahe nagsimula sa unconstitutional, impeachable, tapos nagkaroon ng framing kahapon lang 11 million a day. Kaya ba ng sinumang gastusin yan? Tapos nagkaroon ng framing na ikinabit sa West Philippine Sea, 'di ba? Pagkatapos ngayon, katatapos itong araw na 'to, mayroong press release na in-identify lang dalawa na ahensya, OVP at saka DepEd and other agencies. Ang tanong ko dun sa press release ni Congressman, ni Chairman ko, sandali lang, kung ang pinag-uusapan natin national security, hindi ba dapat kasama ang AFP? Hindi ba dapat kasama ang DND? Ang sinama nyo, NICA, NSC, BIFAR, at saka Philippine Coast Guard. Seriously? That is national security for you? Alam mo, ang security, marami yan May security na UMIN, may signal, ang daming uri ng national ng security. So ako medyo hindi naman nagbabagabag. Ang conclusion ko talaga, politika. Kasi politika lahat yung movements at walang pinag-uusapan ng reforma. Kung gusto mong reformahin, edi mag-declare kayo lahat ng inyong mga what do you call this? Confidential and intelligence fund. From the office of the Speaker to the office of the Senate President. Let's declare everything. Let's not, mince and dice. Kasi if you really want true reform, then there should be open discussion. And it should not just be the Vice President or the Secretary of Education.
But why is Sara's demolition a priority to the enemies of the state? As Vice President, she is the second highest public official of the land. Elected po yan, no? And if the President is incapacitated, she takes over. Pangalawa, she has been designated Vice Chairman of the Task Force for the Elimination of Communist Armed Conflict or LCAC. Pangatlo, she is the public official that has the highest mandate from the people. Her approval ratings are higher than the President. But I join Malutiki's question, inalis sa isang civilian entity, inilipat din sa mga civilian entities. No? So, politika nga. Pero, before we go ahead of our story, let me first establish where I'm coming from. She is the only member of the Marcos cabinet who, as Secretary of Education, has delivered tangible systemic reform. In fact, revolutionizing her area of responsibility. No? Bakit ito importante? Bumalik po tayo sa history. Sa isang academic paper na ginawa ni Joel Durban ng Far Eastern University at Ruby Durban Catalan ng University of San Agustin, Iloilo, on May 20, 2012, they appropriately positioned Philippine education as a product of a long history of a struggle. Its metamorphosis was a gradual process, sabi nila, which was a product of generation of colonialism and imperialism. Mula sa pagdating pa ni Legazpi noong 1570 to 1762, ang Spanish policy focused on treating the natives as mga ward. Walang importansya na sila ay maeduka. No opportunity was offered for the Indios to improve their lot in a colonial society. However, the second phase of the Spanish colonization from 1762 to 1896, yan po ang period of awakening. It marked the start of a realization, the dawn of critical, tawag ko po dyan ay spirit of inquiry, pagtatanong. Nagsimula po magtanong ang mga masa and ultimately dumating ang revolusyon. Sinasabi po sa atin ang kasaysayan ng edukasyon noong panahon ng Spanish colonization was selective. Only those who belong to rich families, the likes of Rizal, Luna, the Taberas, and others, availed of it, many of them even going abroad to study. Learning, therefore, became a badge of privilege, a norm to qualify positions of leadership in society, creating a wide gap between the ilustrados and the Indio masses. As the majority of the uneducated masses became easy subjects to oppression,
magiging matatag pong lalo ang ating
nawala. Mag-blackout dito. Pasensya po kayo, may konting technical lang. I-edit out naman natin yan sa final form. Nagkaroon lang ng konting parang blackout dito sa ating sistema. Kaunting pasensya lang po. Please stand by for technical difficulties.
The door and I'm stunning. Better hold tight cause you know what's going down. I'm setting the pace cause this is my town. So get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Jump blink, jump blink. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Jump blink, jump blink. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Jump blink, jump blink. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Jump blink.
Sige pa. Yan, yan. Sabihin niyo kung kailan magsimula. Ha? We're back. Learning, therefore, became a badge of privilege, a norm to qualify positions of leadership in society, creating a wide gap between the ilustrados and the Indio masses. As the majority of the uneducated masses became easy subjects to oppression, they favored freedom and liberty, hence towards Philippine independence. This brought forth the founding of the Katipunan, founded by Andres Bonifacio, and the revolution of the Filipinos against Spain. Next slide. The Filipino Revolution against Spain, which was sparked by the discovery of the Katipunan in 1896, ending with the surrender of the last Spanish Governor-General, Diego de los Rios, to the Ilonggo Revolutionarios, headed by General Martin Delgado, on December 25, 1898, in Plaza Alonso the 12th, now Plaza Libertad in Iloilo City. Not knowing that Spain had sold the country to the Americans 10 days earlier in what is now known as the Treaty of Paris. After failing to subjugate the Philippines by violence. Education was used by the Americans to pacify the restless natives. Schools were established all over the archipelago, and the natives were taught how to read and write by their American teachers using the English language. Natutunan nila ang American geography, American history, at lives of American heroes, at kinakanta pa nila ang Star-Spangled Banner. The Americans were successful in making the natives their little brown brothers. American education was a successful instrument of colonization. It gradually disoriented the Filipino sense of national identity. Ito po ang problema, because it introduced them into an entirely new world, the start of their alienation from their roots, the development of our colonial mentality. It was in reality the start of their miseducation, imbibing a different cultural orientation. Alam mo po tayong mga Asyano, we were learning Western linear concept. A people possessing no nationalism in our hearts, which will spur us to sacrifice for the welfare of our country. Kaya kung kayo nagtataka kung bakit parang ganyan ang asal Pilipino, no? Ito po ang rason, ang ating pinanggalingan. Ngayon, let's fast forward dito sa next slide. Hindi ako magdi-discuss dito ng quantitative factors affecting facilities and logistics, which are budgetary concerns. I will confine myself to qualitative or substantive matters. The first issue in the role of education in national development. Education has been looked into as a means to solve our multifarious problems in society, such as alleviating poverty, decreasing criminalities, increasing economic benefits, and ultimately uplifting the standard of living of Filipino masses. Allied with this issue is the preparation of our students from the basic education up to all the way the tertiary level. It is a sad reality that only 7 of 10 pupils who enroll in grade 1 finish the elementary curriculum, increasing their chances of losing the incipient literacy acquired, and therefore forfeit the privilege of developing patriotic and nationalistic attitudes. How can we expect our students to help in nation building when they do not have the necessary skills and training completed? From the 7 who continue to the secondary, only 3 are able to complete the curriculum. From these 3, only 1 can complete the tertiary education, yung pong full college education. On top of this, what is the environment waiting for them? The rate of unemployment and underemployment is rising every year as more students graduate from colleges and universities who cannot be accommodated by the labor market. So professionals are forced to accept employment far from their areas of specialization and degree of training because they need to work and earn for their families. Or they go abroad. Kaya nandito po ang puso ng Sara's first revolution. Our basic education in the 19th century started with the 3 R's. Reading, writing, arithmetic. In the 20th century, it was basically oriented at developing linear minds that only serve as factories, churning white-collar workers for Western industrialized countries. Why? Because our system of education is patterned after the American system of education. When Secretary Sara came into the picture, she was confronted with an educational system with a curriculum that is not responsive to the basic needs of the country. This is where Sara's first revolution as Vice President and Secretary of Education has been born. Not just to educate, but to prepare our people to be self-reliant, to be engaging and ready for the 21st century. Let us play this video.
Magiging matatag pong lalo ang ating mga bata sapagkat sila ay inihahanda na po sa kanilang mga magiging trabaho sa future. At tayo po ay magiging globally competitive dahil ang mga skills po na ide-develop sa ating mga anak ay talagang 21st century skills.
Ngayon, ang tanong, does the new system address the problems of our history? Does it overhaul the old system? Does it address the needs of our people? And does it prepare our children for a better future? Ito po, what are the foundations, therefore, of the Sara First Revolution, the matatag curriculum? Let us go to the main features and play the video.
The main features of the matatag curriculum are: number 1, a focus on foundational skills such as literacy and numeracy skills, especially in K-3. Decongested curriculum, which significantly reduced the number of learning competencies. Balanced cognitive demand. As the grade level progresses, there is a shift from the focus on the low levels to higher order thinking skills. Clearer articulation of 21st century skills. We emphasized 21st century skills such as information, media and technology skills, learning and innovation skills, communication skills, and life and career skills. And we reduced the learning areas in Key Stage 1 for grades 1 to 3. We have also intensified values education and strengthened peace education. And lastly, we made sure that our curriculum is on a par with international standards.
Okay, discussin po natin isa-isa, starting with how it solves the traditional gridlock. Number 1, decongest curriculum. Play.
We decongested the curriculum by 70%. Which supports our focus on the essential skills of literacy and numeracy. The act of decongesting our curriculum, reducing overcrowding, and focusing on the essential elements of learning has profound implications for our learners' educational experiences. First, this approach now provides learners with the time that they need to truly understand and assimilate the foundational elements of learning, rather than simply dabbling in a vast array of topics. Second, a less crowded curriculum allows learners to focus more intently on each learning area, leading to a deeper comprehension and retention of knowledge. Ultimately, the net effect of this transformation is a more targeted, effective, and meaningful learning experience.
Narinig po ba ninyo yung sinabi? We decongested the curriculum by 70%. Oh my God! Ha? So okay, may i-areglo na nila lahat yun. Ha? Pero anong relevance nun today? Ito ba ay nag-a-address ng ating needs ng mga anak moving forward? Ha? Ha? Paano na? Ha? Sila ba ay magiging handa para sa hinaharap na century? Clearer integration of 21st century skills. Play the video.
We ensured that all components under each 21st century skill are clearly defined with specific examples that manifest in various learning areas. We recognize the importance of reinforcing the 21st century skills of our Filipino learners, aiming to equip them beyond just the traditional learning domains. The focus is on developing competencies that are vital in today's digital and global world. These include digital literacy, critical thinking and problem solving, future orientation and thinking, and resilience and adversity management. By strengthening these key areas, the matatag curriculum ensures that our learners are not only knowledgeable, but also adaptable, forward-thinking, resilient, and well-equipped for the 21st century.
Alright, inalis yung heavy traffic, nawala yung 70% ng gridlock. Pangalawa, na itutok para sa malayo pang hinaharap ng ating mga kabataan. Pero, dyan po ba sa travel na yan, educational travel na ating mga kabataan, does it address the quest for nationhood? Iisang bansa. Does it build an empathy for our children to want to protect their own country and provide for their own people? Hindi po basta lamang pag-ibig sa bansa. Meron pong kaukulang responsibilidad yan. Ang pagiging makabansa or nationhood. Play the video.
Ang makabansa ay naglalayong makahubog ng isang aktibong mag-aaral sa pamamagitan ng paglinang ng mahahalagang kasanayang nagpapamalas ng pagkakakilanlan, pagkamalikhain, pagkamalusog, at pakikipag-ugnayan sa kapwa at sa iba pang aspekto ng lipunan tungo sa pagiging holistikong Pilipinong taglay ang ika-21 siglong kasanayan. Layunin din itong mapaunlad ng mga mag-aaral ang pag-unawa sa sarili at kultural na kamalayan, kasanayan, upang maging malusog at malikhain at may kakayahang makipag-ugnayan sa kapwa at pamayanan. Sa murang isipan pa lamang ng mga bata, ay nakikintal na sa kanila na alamin ang Pilipinas at sa mga susunod na baitang maipamulat na mahalin ito at pagsilbihan ito. Know the Philippines, love the Philippines, serve the Philippines is heavily inculcated in Makabansa and Araling Panlipunan learning areas and widens their understanding as they tackle Southeast Asia context and global dynamics and processes.
Ayan ang mga buzzwords. Pakikipag-ugnayan, holistiko. Pero ito ba ay nagbibuild ng karakter para sa ating mga anak at salidlahi? Does this engage them in making them men and women for others? How does it contribute to making them better persons? Values, good manners, and right conduct. Play the video.
Values education is now intensified to ensure that we inculcate the right values across all levels, from kindergarten to grade 10. We have done this by introducing good manners and right conduct in kindergarten to grade 6 and values education in grade 7 to 10. This is also in keeping with the GMRC and values education law. The focus here is on nurturing the learner's essential socio-emotional skills, such as empathy and resilience, contributing to their emotional well-being and interpersonal relationships, and ultimately building a strong character. O ang tapang humarap sa anumang hamon. This fosters social responsibility and encourages active community participation. Ang pagsasabuhay ng pagmamahal sa Diyos, sarili, pamilya at kapwa, kalikasan, bansa at daigdig, tungo sa kabutihang panlahat ay itinuturo dito sapagkat ang tunguhin ng asignaturang ito ay makapaghubog ng kabataang Filipino na nagpapasya ng may mapanagutan, kumikilos ng may wastong pag-uugali at pagkiling sa kabutihan.
Yan po ang patutunguhan. Pero tayo we are a people na para bang we have a difficulty in relating with one another. So yung pong mga foundational values na yan, very important. Hindi ko narinig yan. Tumanda na ako ng ganito, ngayon ko lang narinig na yung mga samut-sari na yan ay pinagdurugtong-dugtong para sa kabuuan ng isang matatag na kabataan. Para sa isang mabunying pag-aaral. Pero sa pakikipagtungo po sa ibang tao, bakit we are very fractious. Ha? Maraming marites, marisol sa ating lipunan. Ha? At marami na mapanira imbis na mapanuri. Saan ang gagaling yan? Kaya po hanggat maaga ay ina-address na yung mga problema yan mula pa po kindergarten. And so, ang ating pong curriculum is an inverted pyramid kung saan not only educational values of reading, writing, and arithmetic, not only ang ating kasaysayan bilang isang bansa, not only ang ating kasaysayan bilang mga Kristiyano at mga Muslim, not only our identity as a peaceful nation, ay unti-unti habang ang estudyante ay paakyat, bumubukas ng gusto ang kanyang kaalaman, palawak ng palawak, preparasyon para sa ika-21 siglo, which is this century, which is an Asian century. Kaya po itong pang-5 ay very important. How does it encourage them in the process to contribute to social order? Kasi maaaring ikaw ay nag-aral, pero yung karunungan mo doon lang sa loob ng bahay mo. Yung karunungan mo para pa sarili mo lamang. Yung karunungan mo, hindi mo ino-offer sa bansa para pagsilbihan ang Diyos, ang pamilya, at ang nasyon. What is the urgency of molding them in the ways, therefore, of a non-violent conflict resolution? Yan ang tinatawag ni Inday Sara na peace education. Yan ang pinagdalhan niya ng kanyang confidential funds. No? Kaya kayo na mga nagtatanong kung saan napunta ang pera at nagsasuggest pa na baka ibinulsa ito ng ating Vice Presidente, baka magulat kayo. Nilipat nyo yan doon sa mga NICA, Coast Guard, under the pretext of protecting our sovereignty. Pero ito ho ay ginugol ni Sara para sa peace education eh. Ayan. Para maintindihan natin ito, let us play the video.
In the curriculum, basic peace concepts such as self-awareness, community engagement, rights and responsibilities, community resilience, human security, disaster risk reduction and mitigation, and peace security, among others, are systematically integrated in various learning areas across grade levels. In addition, concepts such as culture and intercultural relations, environmental stewardship, and local, national, and global systems and processes which are found in Makabansa, Araling Panlipunan, GMRC, Values Education, Science, and even MAPE, Advanced Peace Education in the curriculum. These are articulated not only in cognitive dimensions, but more importantly, in socio-economic aspects and behavioral terms which ensure holistic development among Filipino learners. Sa pangkabuuan, nilalayon ng edukasyong pangkapayapaan na mapaunlad sa mga Pilipinong mag-aaral ang kakayahang makipamuhay ng mapayapa, hindi lamang sa kapwa Pilipino, kundi maging sa ibang mamamayan ng daigdig. Haligi ito ng ugnayan, kooperasyon, at kaunlarang pandaigdig.
ating pong tandaan na kung walang kapayapaan, hindi magkakaroon ng progreso. Walang development. That is why peace education is a strategic insertion. To be very frank about it, we are a nation programmed in turmoil. To get what we thought we deserved from the Spanish and the Americans, we resorted to hostility towards the resolution of conflict. Today, we even have homegrown insurgencies. Ito pong international publication, The Diplomat, in its 2020 article said, over 100,000 combatants and civilians have died in the conflict since 1969, with multiple efforts at peace failing to take off across administrations. Ilang administrasyon na mula noong 1969. Aba, ay pangwalo na ho, mga kabansa. Simulan natin kay Marcos, simulan natin kay Cory, andyan si Fidel Ramos, andyan si Erap Estrada, andyan si GMA, andyan si Noynoy Aquino. Ay nagkaroon lamang ng boljak nung panahon ni Duterte, ni Presidente Digong Duterte. 6 na taon niya. At malapit na po tayo maging narco state. Tapos ngayon, marami pang kalaban sa politika si Digong na gusto pa siya ipakulong at dalhin sa International Criminal Court. Tingnan niyo ang pag-uutak ng iba sa atin. Wishing bad things happening to other people. My goodness. In one of Asia's longest communist insurgencies, 100 combatants and civilians have died. Another 120,000 also perished in the Moro-inspired conflict in the South. Sabihin niyo sa akin, kayong mga nakikinig, kung meron o wala kayong kamag-anak na naging biktima ng 2 rebelyon na naganap na yan, ng 2 insurhensya na naganap na yan, saan mang parte ng Pilipinas kayo naroon. At kung kayo ay nasa Mindanao, katulad ni Inday Sara, kaya sinasabi niya, the new K-10 curriculum. Bakit K-10? Dahil may debate ngayon na yung 11 at 12 gawing optional. May batas po ngayon na nililimbag sa Kongreso na either mag-opt to continue to grade 12 or from grade 10 dumiretso sa technical vocational course. Either way will be considered to be preparatory for college education. Pero nandito po sa foundational K-10 ang pinag-uusapan nating katatagahan. No? Integrating peace competency, highlighting, ito po, the promotion of non-violent action and the development of conflict resolution, pagre-resolba ng mga sigalot, ng mga paggugusot-gusot sa ating lipunan as low as level of the barangay para isang taong nagkakasundo, isang mamamayang nagkakaisa, hindi sa gulo at sa walang kapararakan. I said, isn't this about time na magising tayo sa basic human relations? And rebuild the Philippines towards a real, dynamic, and productive, inclusive society. Yet we insist, meron sa atin, we insist on living in our colonial past as we see the gap between the rich and the poor, the privileged and the deprived, the educated and the unschooled. Alam niyo po yung revolution from the center ni Presidente Marcos, isinasaayos na po ang lipunan para magkaroon ng political liberation, economic emancipation, at social concord. No? Towards the full industrialization of the country using as engine the nationalization of power. Why? Because power is the fuel for development of any country towards full industrialization. Yan po yung sinasabi ko na meron tayong gap sa ating economic history. From agricultural, lumundag tayo sa service. Do you remember the past episode? Sinabi ko sa inyo yan. At kung paano nangyari yan. Yan po ay sa kadahilanan na precisely balubaluktot ang edukasyon. Hindi nakatono towards nation building. No? Even basic utilities are anti-people because they prioritize on profits for producers. Ayan si Aboitis, kumita ng 27 billion last year. Samantalang ang electric bill ninyo, tingnan nyo kung gaano kataas. Anti-people because instead of reasonable monthly bills for consumer, profits for producers. Look at our streets. More lanes for the private vehicles than those that provide mass transport. I can go on and on. Ayoko nang pumasok sa mga nagtataas ang presyo ng bilihin and all that. At kung ano-ano mga on-the-job training, katulad ng Maharlika Investment Fund na hindi naman natin alam kung saan tayo dadalhin lahat. No? But let's just admit it. We live in a deeply conflicted country. And we are in denial that we are in people in dire need of a revolution to improve our ways. Having grown in Davao City, the centrum of this great divide and the arena of communist as well as Moro rebellion, Inday Sara is the best witness to what really tears this nation apart. And how in the Davao experience, dito sa Maynila, hindi natin ito napagdaanan eh. Wala mga balang nagliliparan sa ibabaw ng ating buhok eh. Walang paglikas na nangyayari. Hindi. Meron ba tayong refugees dito? Diba? Sa Mindanao po nagkaroon yan ng pangkasalukuyang gera ng ating armed forces at ng mga Moro National or Islamic Liberation Fronts. No? In fact, as late as the massacre of our police, special forces, nakita natin kung gaano hirap mabuhay sa isang lugar na may digmaan. And do I have even to tell you about the siege of Marawi? Pero sa kanyang Davao experience, no? Achieving peace and development sa pagiging isang citizen niya as well as public official, as mayor, ay madadala ni Inday Sara ang kanyang natutunan first hand, face to face, para sa national condition, to address the national ills, to once and for all change this country today. Pakinggan natin ang ating leader.
Naiintindihan ko ang inyong pagkadismaya at galit hinggil sa mga issue tulad ng pakikialam sa budget at usapin ng confidential fund. Ang mga hamon sa pamumulitika ay maliit lamang kumpara sa mas matinding pagsubok sa ating ekonomiya bilang epekto ng posibleng paglaki ng tunggalian ng Israel at Hamas at tumatagal na digmaan sa pagitan ng Ukraine at Russia. Hinihikayat ko ang bawat isa sa inyo na tutukan ang paghahanda sa darating na panahon ng taghirap, lalo na sa patuloy na pagtaas ng presyo ng pagkain at iba pang bilihin. May oras para sa lahat at hindi ito ang panahon ng paninira at pamumulitika, lalo na malayo pa ang susunod na halalan para sa pagkapangulo. Higit na mahalaga ang ating pagkakaisa, pagtutulungan at pagiging handa para tiyakin ang ating mga pamilya ay ligtas at matatag sa darating na mga buwan. Huwag kayong sumama sa anumang uri ng pang-aapi. Sa halip, sa mga oras ng kagipitan, magmasid at magkilala kung sino ang tunay na mga kaibigan na nasa inyong tabi. Lahat ng bagay sa mundo ay may kanya-kanyang panahon. May panahon ng kapanganakan at kamatayan. Panahon ng pagtatanim at pag-aani. Panahon ng pagsugod at paghilom. Panahon ng pagwasak at pagtatayo. Panahon ng pagluha at pagtawa. Panahon ng pagluluksa at pagsayaw. Panahon ng pagkalat at pagtipon ng mga bato. Panahon ng yakap at panahon ng pag-iwas sa pagyakap. Panahon ng paghanap at pagtigil sa paghahanap. Panahon ng pag-iingat at pagtatapon. Panahon ng pagpunit at pagtahi. Panahon ng katahimikan at panahon ng pagsasalita. Panahon ng pagmamahal at pagkapuot. Panahon ng digmaan at panahon ng kapayapaan. Sa bawat yugto ng ating buhay, mahalaga na piliin natin ang kabutihan, pagkakaunawaan at pagkakaisa. Sa bawat panahon, maging matatag tayo sa pagharap sa hamon at maging handa sa pagtanggap ng pagbabago. Ang mensahe ko na ito ay naglalaman ng mga salita mula sa aklat ng Ecclesiastes na nagpapakita ng mahalagang mensahe tungkol sa mga panahon ng buhay at kung paano tayo dapat kumilos at mag-isip sa bawat isa sa mga ito. Magtulungan tayo para sa kapakanan ng ating bansa. Maraming salamat sa inyong patuloy na suporta at tiwala. Mga kababayan, patuloy tayo maging matatag sa pagtaguyod ng isang bansang makabata at mga batang makabansa. Ang lahat para sa Diyos, sa bayan at sa pamilyang Pilipino. Syukran.
Wala tayong masyadong oras, pero pagbibigyan natin ng iba nating mga kasama sa Himpapawid para basahin natin ang kanilang mga komento. Ayan. Arguelles Joselito, Kaado, di po ba pwede ilipat ang Department of Foreign Affairs si VP Sara bukod sa Department of Education? Ha? Kaado, nag-grade 11 at 12 po yung anak ko. Pag may mekaniko, kaya lang wala pala school ng mekaniko dini sa Quezon. Kaya po, Human Resource Management naging course ng anak ko. Second year na siya ngayon. Alam po ninyo, maaari namang kung ano lamang ang available sa inyong lugar dahil sa hirap naman po ng transportasyon at iba pang mga related expenses sa pagtutustos ng kanyang pag-aaral, maaari naman po siya na habang nagtatrabaho later on ay mag-pursue siya ng higher learning. No po? Hindi naman dahil nakatapos na ang inyong anak na college ay hindi nyo na siya patutuloyin. No? Lalo-lalo na po ngayon, meron tinatawag na distance education. So, pwede po niyang ipurso kung talagang gusto niyang mag-mekaniko, mag-shift uli siya doon. Or, kung sa kanyang human resource management naman, makakita siya ng organizational development o tungo sa, anong pangalan nito, Masters in Business Administration or Public Administration, doon din po yun pupunta. Pero lagi po, tandaan po ninyo, ako po ay 75 anyos na, hanggang ngayon ako'y nag-aaral pa. Kaya wag niyo sabihin niyo sa anak niyo, wag bibitiw, no? Tingnan niyo yung mga kaedad ko, karamihan ay nangangamatay na dahil sineryoso nila ang kanilang retirement. Aba, hindi ho dahilan na kayo ay retired na, sa bahay na lang kayo at hindi na kayo kumikilos, maaari kayong sumama sa mga aktibidades ng barangay, o ibang mga non-profit, o di kayo mga civic action sa paligid ninyo. No? Yung pong ating curriculum, hanggang doon, tusok nasilip ko kanina, pati national risk reduction, nandoon po sa inintegrate na mga konsepto. Okay. Joel Molina, ayaw ng ayaw ng European Union at US na tayo ay umasenso. Totoo po yan, no? Kaya nga po ako'y nagtataka kung bakit ang ating Pangulo ay sinususog itong mga patentero sa tinatawag niyang West Philippine Sea. Wala namang pupuntahan yan. Kung meron man, ang paroroonan niyan ay tumbang preso. Alam niyo ba yung sabihin ng tumbang preso? Malaking gulo. So, ako po talaga nagre-rekomenda na kung maaari lamang balik natin si Bongbong Marcos at iproseso natin dito sa K-10 curriculum ng matatag para maging buo ang kanyang pagdidesisyon ukol sa mga bagay-bagay. Abay, nung bumalik po yan galing sa Estados Unidos, biglang naging Amerikano. At ngayon ay sumusuporta pa sa Israel. Tingnan nyo ang gulo, ang kaisipan, no? Yung palagera, Estados Unidos, nag-spend po yan ng 8 trillion pesos in the past 24 years para lamang sa gera. Na ni isa ay wala namang naipanalo. At hanggang ngayon ay nandun pa sa Ukraine, natatalo na naman, papasok naman dito ngayon sa Israeli Hamas, ay nakasama pa dahil ang buong Islamic world po ngayon ay biglang nagkaisa. Dahil hindi na sila takot na mag-assert ng kanilang sariling identity. Dahil alam nila na wala na po sa dating poder ang Estados Unidos. Pero itong ating Pangulo, nagsisisiksik pa doon. At nang gagatong pa, naghahamon pa. Meron naman mga bilateral mechanism, bilateral protocol para magkaunawaan kung paano ang delivery ng mga resupply mission sa ayungin, sa pag-asa. Aba, ayaw Ini-insist niya na sa Pilipinas daw yung karagatan. Hindi naman totoo yun. No. Kaya pag siya'y lumabas sa ating Coast Guard doon, lumabas sa ating Navy doon, china-challenge ng mas malaking pwersa. Saan kayo huhugot niyan? Wala hong pupuntahan yan, kundi tumbang preso. No? At ito ang malungkot. No? Yung pong build more ni BBM ay nakalimutan na niya dahil naging bases more. Ayan. Hindi ko maintindihan kung saan nag-aral itong ating Pangulo ngayon at anong napag-aralan nito Wala siya ron sa paghahanap ng kapayapaan. No? In contrast, si Inday Sara, ano sabi sa Middle East problem? Ceasefire. Tigil putukan. Tigil patayan. Wala pang 100,000 na hinahanap ninyo. Samantalang nakasingit niya dun sa loob ng milyong-milyong Palestino. Bomba kayo ng bomba. Yung ba mga bomba nyo, hahanapin kung sino talaga yung mga teroristang yan. Nagpapatunay lamang na hindi kayo handa. Naging knee-jerk ang reaction nyo, mga Israeli. Kaya hanggat ibaba na ang tono at liitan na from malaking kampanang bating tengan ay sa maliit na bell na lamang magbatintingan at mag-usap na kung paano magagawa ang Estado ng Palestino na pinasana ng United Nations na mga Palestino ay entitled to their own state, to their own territory, and to their own country. Andres Tebes, Unity Before Politics. God bless your program. Maraming salamat po. At babalik ako dito. Ang epilogue po ng ating butihing leader ay base sa libro ng Ecclesiastes. Napapanahon na talaga ang tunay na pagbabago. Sana all tungkol sa ating unfinished revolution. Lead, Sara, lead. Ito na ang pagkakataon upang ipakita mo ang sobriety ng isang tamang nag-iisip na leader ng Pilipino. Katulad ng curriculum na itinatag mo at pinatatag mo at ginawang matatag curriculum para sa ating mga salinlahi, sundan mo lamang ang mga prinsipyo niyan. Kapayapaan, development, para ang human attainment ay maghanap sa bawat buhay ng bawat Pilipino. Alam po ninyo mga kabansa, 110 million people na tayo ngayon. Noong ako'y nagbibinata, mga 45 million lamang po yan. And I will tell you, I lived a very happy childhood. Na ngayon ay palagay ko'y wala na. Dahil marami na pong nagbago. At ang mga pagbabago ay wala sa pabor ng kung sino nakakarami sa ating mga mamamayan. Kaya tayo naghahanap. Akala natin ito si Bongbong Marcos. Hindi pala. Meron pala siyang mga sariling prioridad na liwas at taliwas sa ating national interest. Kaya ang kanyang pinaglalaban po dyan sa South China Sea, yung tinatawag na soberanya, 7% lamang po yan ng urgent national concern ng taong bayan. At si Inday Sara knows about the real priorities of this country. And without commenting on the economic, political, and social condition of our country today, she is quietly working very hard and effectively and has finished her first revolution in the total overhaul of our educational system. So lead, Sara, lead. Nasa likod mo kami.